couple pages for you guys. But before we start reading, what do you guys know about the American Revolution?
They started because they started by taxes, and then they threw tea in. They're trying to defend
Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, the Boston Tea Party.
So what were they taxing about? Like, what were
They're taxing like for
tea.
no,
Yeah,
tea.
they had taxes on tea, huh?
Yeah, they had taxes on everything, so they're just charging taxes.
Okay. Do you guys want to write down a couple things that you know about the American Revolution?
There's nails right here.
There's nails? Okay. Well, just leave those alone. Don't touch
Even
those.
for taking a single
So-
step, you get
Oh, they
taxed.
go in here.
Here, Jacob, just flip your book over. I think that's the back.
Even
Okay.
for taking
So
a
the front
single
should say what I know about the American Revolution. So just put like three things that you know about the American Revolution. We've talked about a couple of them.
We need like our whiteboard or something.
For me, I
you
got
wanna
my
use my
glasses
book?
case.
Sure.
I got this.
You got that? Or you could write on the cement.
Fresno State. Okay.
This.
My brother used to go there. Yeah.
Because you guys have been talking about the American Revolution in class, right?
Yeah, and we've been shown. We saw Liberty Kids.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys also had the ABC book.
Yeah.
Did you already go through? You already got through?
I don't know that third one.
Okay, that's all right. And then remember to put your names on it. You can put them on the back if you want. Okay, so you got one.
You're charging taxes for anything at all that you buy.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, let's
That's
see.
why I was so high
they
of an
clo-
amount.
They it was the Boston Docks, I think.
Owen.
No, for
Look at Owen.
single
Oh my God,
step,
he's doing the worm.
$50 million.
Owen's doing the worm.
All right, so you guys wrote down a couple of things. It doesn't
Wait.
have to be three, but like if you put three, that's awesome.
When is it 2?
What?
When is it 2?
When is it 2 o'clock? In a while. You still have a while on. Okay, so then I'm gonna have you
But if
guys.
we make this fast, it'll go by fast.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you guys like look at the pages. I'll start with you and just look at like a couple of the pictures, the first couple pictures, and maybe it'll kind of like get some things started, like remembering things about the American Revolution.
They started throwing taxes. Oh, look, they're watching a movie?
Alon,
The Liberty Kids.
Alon, please sit down.
that. We already watched that.
What one
episode.
was it?
It's the episode after the Tea Party.
So like, are the pictures kind of like helping jog any memories that you have about learning about the American Revolution?
Yeah.
They started.
I know not what force others take. I am Indian. No.
And so when I read this book, we're going to be reading about the British perspective of the American Revolution, which is kind of different because usually we only hear about the American side, huh?
Yeah, but I'm on British.
I know. I was like, you're probably on the British side, so this might be interesting for
Try
you.
to show that one. He's both. I think. Thai.
Yeah, you're Thai and British.
Why were they throwing the tea?
towards that beast.
Why were they throwing the tea at them?
All right.
Was
here,
it
pass
because
the book to Alon?
was it
Alon, it's your turn to look at the pages.
Megan? Well, what's your name?
Actually,
What's your name?
Miss Edwardson.
Did they throw? Why did they throw it at the British? The tea at the British Army.
1 second. So on this, there's a second page that has what what does it say?
look at all these muskets. Look at all the men with the muskets.
On the second page, it has what I also.
Stop just looking at pictures
So
and
then
showing
put
people.
maybe a
You're
couple
supposed
more
to
things that you
search.
found out from looking at those pictures.
I see a lot of muskets right now.
Okay, so what was your question?
Why did they start throwing tea at the British Army?
Well, they started throwing the tea into the bay
Yeah.
as a revolt against all the taxes that they had on the tea. So why don't you look at a couple pages? And then do you have your flip book?
There's so much muskets.
Well, what do you know about muskets?
They're good for long range and flintlock pistols are good for short range.
Why don't you write down in the book other things that you found out just looking at the pictures in the book?
I already knew that before. We studied about the American
That
Revolution.
the pictures reminded me of when the redcoats were hiding in the grass to like attack anyone or to see if there were any cars.
Awesome. Put that down.
Hide in the grass.
Alon,
Well, it was more of
Alon, stop
yes.
messing around.
please stop messing around, Alon.
This is tall grass.
So, okay, so on this page, we're going to put what I also know, which is,
How muskets.
yeah, talk about muskets or what you saw from the pictures that kind of jogged your memory about the American Revolution.
Yeah, they used like 8,000 men.
Really?
Well, no, 1,800.
On whose side? Was that the Patriots or was...
I believe it was on the British.
Okay.
So redcoats.
Redcoats.
Yes.
Remember when they said there's like 1,800 soldiers?
That's a lot.
Oh yeah, the people who did the Boston Tea Party, they dressed up as Mohawk Indians.
Huh. Why did they do that?
So like
So the
everybody
British
would.
could blame the Indians.
Oh yeah, they did that.
That's another thing you can put down on your list. Okay, when you guys are done, I'll start reading the story. It's really interesting.
Can I read that page?
Well, I have to read it to you.
Oh. Oh yeah, didn't General Washington? Wait, no. I thought they surrendered.
All right, so just jot down a couple of things that you kind of were reminded of when looking at the pages.
It's the beast.
It's the Owen Run. Oh wait, never mind. He's cuddled.
So, Alon, you're done.
How do you spell dressed?
Dress. So, what is it? G-D.
Oh yeah, the American one.
Alon, please come sit over here. We're a group.
I attacked the beast.
Oh yeah, they all redcoats also had to move into people's houses.
Oh yeah.
Did they take over people's homes, or were they just kind
No,
of?
they're-
No, they had to.
They made them like slaves to
Okay.
make them do their work.
Yeah.
No. They
Yeah.
had to do it
And
because if they might run out and they had weapons, the British would stop them.
No, they would go into people's houses if
And
they had
force
a
them
small
to clean their
family.
clothes and stuff.
All right. Hey, you guys, did you write a couple things down? Because I'm gonna start reading, and we'll figure out. Maybe we can learn some more things.
So, how could you tell if it's about the British?
It says the British side.
British person.
Okay, so I'm gonna start reading. If you guys want to write the rest of those things down, I'm just gonna keep reading. So it's dealing with the rebels. So only 22-year-old George III was about to be crowned king of one of the world's great empires. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
It was September 22, 1761, and the military that George inherited with the lands of Great Britain had helped build that empire. Just a year before, British troops defeated French forces in Canada, and then in the year to come, George's military would win victories against Spain, in Cuba, and the Philippines. British influence in India was on the rise. George said with pride, I glory in the name of Britain. Britain's long war against Spain, France, and other European nations, called the French and Indian War in North America, finally ended in 1763. The British greatly expanded their holdings in North America, adding to the 13 colonies against the Atlantic coast. So, what has happened in the story so far?
The British had taken over some of the land.
And they stopped the Boston and docks.
And now,
you know, from-
and now they're going to go to all the way to America.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
pretend it's a ship.
Can you read that again? Because I remember two things
Just-
that I learned from hearing you.
Just
Oh
pretend,
yeah.
just pretend this is how long it took.
You guys, I'll reread this page, okay?
King.
You guys listen closely.
Wait, what? What year did King George become king?
Ding.
1761. Okay, so King George he was crowned the king, and the military that George inherited with the lands of Great Britain had helped build that empire. Just a year before, British troops defeated French forces in Canada. And in the year to come, George's military would win victories against Spain, in Cuba, and the Philippines. British influence in India was on the rise. George said with pride, "I glory in the name of Britain." So they were doing very well, right?
Yeah.
Look at the flag.
Yeah, they got a flag going. So Britain's long war against Spain, France, and other European nations, called the French and
So the
Indian
entire
War.
colonies, to
Yeah.
be exact.
So 1761.
Because
Yeah.
the
You
British,
don't have to, like, that was just like to see what you guys kind of know before the
it was
story. You don't
because
have
the
to write
British
things
are
down.
really tough.
Yeah.
And also they have lots of men.
So you guys, if you want to just focus on listening to the story, and then we'll write things down later. Okay, so we're going to talk about taxing the colonies. So we have George III right here. So it says George III became king after the death of his grandfather, George II. Kind of weird looking, huh?
And then it will be,
You want to see him?
and
George
then
III?
it'll become George the Fourth, George
After
the
him.
Fifth, and then the Queen.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about taxing the colonies.
Why does everyone has to be called George in order to be the Queen?
Well, I think it's just like a royalty, you know, they pass down the name. It's like
Yeah,
important.
a lot of people do like something others because in my family they probably name me after my grandfather, and then I'll probably have to
What's
name
this?
my son after my dad.
My dad's
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's like names passed down through the generation.
What was that?
My dad.
That's just my papers.
My
It's
dad,
what you guys are doing, basically.
My dad.
Because
Okay,
is
you
the
guys,
second of
let's
the
move
family.
on to taxing the colonies. Okay, so one of George's concerns was keeping peace with the American Indian tribes along with the frontier. American colonists have been moving into Indian lands, and Indian relations with British officials had recently soured. So
Yes,
war,
because the British,
was taking over their land.
yeah,
and
So-
they wanted them to stop, so the British probably said, "Come fight with us."
yeah. It says war broke out in 1763 as the Indians attacked British forts in the west. George issued a proclamation that said American colonists could not settle west of the Appalachian Mountains. The proclamation of 1763 limited who could trade with the Indians in that region. So the king and his aides also planned to send as many as 10,000 additional troops to the American frontier. To help pay the cost, Parliament signed the Sugar Act in 1764. So the Sugar Act.
The frontier is like hunting areas.
Yes.
I learned that from grade 3.
Of course we did.
Yeah, I knew about the hunting frontier before this. I know a lot about it.
Okay, so the law raised some taxes on the colonies. It also called for collecting taxes known as duties that were already in place. And the colonists had avoided paying the earlier duties by smuggling goods into the colonies. All right, and then we have the Proclamation of 1763 prohibited settlement west of the Appalachian Mountains. So, where are the Appalachian Mountains on there? I cannot speak today.
I see
British-
Washington.
British
see some mountains on the
Indian
map?
Territory.
What? Oh wait. What are the? British Indian Territory.
You see the mountains right here, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
So,
that's
west
where the
of-
British gave the Indian Territory.
So, what would be west of the Appalachian Mountains?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what would be west of the Appalachian Mountains? There's a little compass on there that tells you where west is.
yeah,
So
west
it
is
would
that
be-
way, north, south, and
Yeah.
then east.
So it'd be
The
like on the
first-
left side, huh?
Did you know the first time the Patriots took over was Boston?
Actually, it was the redcoats that took over.
Yeah, but then the Patriots took over Boston.
All right, so let's read more about this proclamation of 1763. So George called the Americans his loving subjects. The Americans, though, did not love the Sugar Act, and some spoke out about it.
So he was being sarcastic.
Well, I mean, loving subjects, that's kind of like demeaning, you know?
Like he uses that more
When
stuff.
you
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, they're my subjects, my loving subjects. They'll do anything I say.
My shoes are tied together.
Untie them. Okay. So it says that
This
some
ball
Americans.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
it?
It's not spiky.
You guys
Guys,
don't play with
get
those.
distracted too quickly.
Yeah. Don't play with
Remember, we still got grades to get.
Okay, so George's need for money outweighed any concern with American liberty. Parliament passed. Okay, you guys, please put those down. Throw them over there. Throw them over there.
It's
Okay.
like they're throwing masons.
Yeah. Okay, so George's need for money outweighed any concern about American liberty. So he was greedy, right? He just wanted
So a
to.
dictator.
Pretty much. I mean, what he said.
Would he
goes.
laugh like this?
Possibly.
You
No,
put it
he-
off on his ha ha ha.
All
No,
right.
he would probably like move his hands like that.
Just together all greedy. So
Wow.
Parliament passed the Stamp Act of 1765, which called for a tax on printed documents. This time the colonists did more than grumble. Colonists in several cities protested.
I'm protesting. I'm holding a sign. I'm
Huh.
protesting.
So many,
So not only tea was taxed.
Look, I'm protesting.
but also printed documents.
Yeah.
So that would be like papers. Like if you guys were gonna,
I'm
like that might be a
protesting.
printed document. You might have to have a tax on
I'm
that.
protesting.
So people were mad, right?
Yeah, like they hold
newspapers,
signs that say
pamphlets.
stuff like this.
Yeah. Okay, so let's
They
see
do it
what
like
happens
that.
next. So they protested. Many also boycotted British goods. Do you guys know what boycotting means?
No,
I
but I
heard-
think I remember what it was. Boycott. Wasn't it like a threat or something?
It's kind of like a threat. It's like, let's say your friend boycotts you because you did something against him. That means that he wouldn't hang out with you. So like if I was boycotting,
Me?
I don't know, McDonald's for some reason because I didn't think that their products were good. That means that I wouldn't go to McDonald's. I wouldn't eat their food. I wouldn't buy their product.
A sad thing in McDonald's. One time it was sad because
Does that
there
relate?
was-
Does this story relate to what we're talking about? Okay.
Oh,
One
McDonald's.
time in McDonald's they had a sad
Alright.
product which was toothpaste. Everyone hated that.
So that's what boycotting means. Is basically like you're revolting against something, and so you're not going to buy the goods. So okay, and the British merchants lost money because of it. Parliament repealed the Stamp Act in 1766, but the need for more money from the colonies had not gone away. Leading the fight against the tax policies were American colonists known as patriots. So, do you guys know who the patriots are?
Yeah, everyone does.
Also,
People only talked about Patriots. That's all. No British.
also, they would like
That
wear.
was, that,
Also,
that
they
makes-
would like carry some messages like side tails,
So that would make me
side
sad.
tails, or just hang like
So it makes me
like
sad.
if they were like doing a cove
It
or
only
a
makes
river.
me sad that they're only talking about Patriots and not the British. Like, I'm British.
Well, they are talking about the British.
Yeah, but I'm sad because people always talk about the Patriots. There's only a little bit.
We're talking about the football team. Just kidding.
But that's why it's cool. Let's keep listening because we're learning about the British. Okay, so the Patriots claim that their only fair taxes were ones passed by elected colonial officials.
Rolling
Since-
ball.
Since the colonists had no voting representatives in Parliament, Patriots believed Parliament had no right to tax them. So why didn't they think that the British could tax on different products of theirs?
I don't know. Ah,
It's
Parliaments.
What?
Parliaments.
Yeah.
Parliament.
So why didn't the Patriots believe that Parliament could put taxes on their goods?
Because it's
It's
their
their
city,
good.
it's their home,
Yes.
and
And it's theirs. Just
Well,
it's because it's theirs.
It's
that's
because the what is it? The Parliament had no representatives, so they didn't vote for any of these people.
I like
who
your
are
phone
making these
case.
rules. Alon, please sit down. If you get up again to get that, I'm gonna tell Mrs. Steinbrock.
Looks like
you're not paying
Is that a flower?
Can I see that, please? You're being distracted by these,
all.
and you're distracting everybody
Because
else.
they're all spiky.
Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so British leaders argued back that the Americans had virtual representation. They said that members of Parliament did what was best for the empire as a whole, and the Americans had to accept their actions.